All right, hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today I'm taking you through my entire stock portfolio. I am super excited to make this video for you guys because what I'm going to do today is I've made some changes to my stock portfolio, my ETF portfolio, I should say, because I have bought a new few holdings if you guys look through here. And what I want to do is this video is going to be for me and you. And what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to expose my entire portfolio going through all the stocks and ETFs that I currently own. And what I want to do in this video is I want to talk about each position. I'm not going in depth. I'm basically saying exactly why I hold each position and what my intentions are for the future for these. Because as you guys know, January 2020, I was going to say 2023, 2025, brand new year. We got a brand new portfolio outlook and I want to see, okay, what are our ideas going into the new year? How are we going to build this portfolio and make this one of the best income years of our lives? So if that does sound good, what I want to do is first address some awesome comments. Everyone's calling me the horrible investor and I love it. Throw some shade on the name. Yeah, he's horrible investor. Roll G, man. Why? I love you guys. It's okay. You know what? I like it. I don't necessarily love the hate, but I completely understand where you guys are coming from. I apologize with the last video with my $0.8 distribution for QQQY. It was definitely a little bit on the higher side, not as realistic as it should have been. Maybe it should have been about 0.25 in terms of the weekly dividend payout from QDTE, but nonetheless, you guys can check that out in the last video if you want to see some horrible investing on this channel. No, we are honorable investing, and we're currently sitting at 7,176 subscribers, 518 subscribers in the past 28 days. Thank you very much for sticking with me, but we are just getting into this video, so thank you to everyone who comments. I know sometimes there's some shade on this, but I really do appreciate everyone. You guys make me better, and of course, I'm joining Toastmasters, so I'm looking to get even better with my speech, everything like that, and better with the video. So let's get into today's video, one I'm super excited about. We have some new names. We have the Mega Margin and the Careful Cash account, so let's bust into those two accounts. The first ETF that I want to talk about today is the Drexen Daily S&P 500, both 3x shares. This ETF, I only own one share, as you can see right here. My average share price, $178. And the reason that I bought this is because it goes long 3 times on the S&P 500. If you guys know the S&P 500, what that is, 500 biggest stocks in the stock market. I'm not sure if that's exactly true, but 500 the biggest companies within the stock market. Basically, it's a 3 times bull on the S&P 500. I am very bullish on the S&P 500 long term, and so I do think holding this ETF long term could be better than SPY, and that's why I purchased it. I will definitely look to purchase more of this ETF going forward, as I do think it's fantastic for capital gains. It produces no dividend yield, but I bought it because the returns can be spectacular with a 3 times bull on the overall market. I think the market's good long term. I'm going to go 3 times bull, use some leverage, and leverage my position. QDTE, look at this. We have some QDTE in here. I have currently 10 shares of QDTE at an average share price of $40.29. So I did buy 10 shares of QDTE. I want some skin in the game. I created a video on it the other day. Why not buy some? I only bought, if we look here, that's about $400 worth. So not a huge position by any means, but I bought some because I want to experience the weekly dividends from this ETF. It does cover the NDX, which is the, I'm going to say innovative 100. No, it's the NASDAQ 100. Basically, they write synthetic cover calls, 0 date to expiry cover calls on the NASDAQ 100, not the NASDAQ itself, but the NASDAQ 100, which are the 100 biggest and heaviest traded companies within the NASDAQ itself. So why I bought it is because it produces a great dividend yield. I just wanted some skin in the game. 10 shares, we're in. Cool. Another one that I bought today, surprise, surprise, I bought some Misty. Let's see. Each position, by the way, that I go through, I have more and more income in these positions. Misty, I have 17 shares, and I bought roughly about $500 worth. And why did I buy Misty? I seen a couple comments in our community talking about Misty and how, oh yes, there's horrible. There's horrible. We're here. Misty, cool. Misty I have a couple comments mentioning how Misty's been a great position for people. Of course, has a huge dividend yield, 102%. It's returned its entire capital base to early investors. And I do think that with the recent rise in Bitcoin, you could see here on the right, if you kind of see where I'm flicking my mouse up and down here, Bitcoin has reached almost a new all-time high, if not a new all-time high today. And I do think it could potentially push further. So I bought some MSTY. $500 there. Cool. ULTY, my next position. ULTY, I hold, we're jumping into bigger numbers here. $1,500 I hold 164 shares at an average share price of $10.60. When we look at ULTY pays a fantastic dividend. And if I go here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pull it up quickly. ULTY's share price history has been extremely poor. It's been on pretty much a downtrend since its inception. Sure, it pays at 86% dividend, but that doesn't make up for the fact that it's down roughly 60% in the past year. It's been a poor performing investment for me. I have not bought any more ULTY. I've only held my shares in this position. I have no intention of buying any more, only the intention of selling if the price increases. If not, what I'm doing is I'm just continuing to collect the dividends from this position. No intention of really moving it at the current moment. It's just sitting there. PYPY. We'll jump to the next one. What we're going to do is we're going to search up the Yieldmax ETF for each one of these. So you guys might have to be a little patient here. Boom, PYPY, and stick with me if you guys are cool with that. PYPY, I like PayPal as an underlying business. It's profitable, it's growing, and the Yieldmax ETF was showing great signs. Over the past year, only down 3.35% and paying a dividend yield of 31%. I think that's a very fair return. And so I decided to buy. I like stable Yieldmax ETFs, which pay me monthly income. I want to have a share price which relatively stays about the same, about the $20 marker, but continues to pay me monthly income. PYPY is that ETF for me. And I currently have $1,500, which is 82 shares right here. Average share price is $18.15. So if we look, we are slightly up about 5 cents per share roughly. All right, as I take a sip of my water, we move on to the next one, which is SQY. We are jumping up to some even bigger numbers. $3,786, 215 shares of SQY at an average share price of $19.65. Ooh, that was a mouthful. $19.65 is my average share price. I am down on this position in SQY currently because the share price is $17.61. I have received a few dividends from this, but once again, an ETF, a Yieldmax ETF, which has been fairly stable for the past year, it says it's down negative 15%, negative 16%, but it has a pretty decent dividend of about 46%. Usually it's a little bit higher on the side of 60 to 80%, but it's been paying out some smaller dividends lately, as you guys can see, in the $60 range. Before it was paying out dollar dividends fairly consistently, I would say. But a small position, only intend to hold and grow. Same with PYPY, only intend to hold and grow. Another one that's very similar to SQY, for example, not in terms of the business, but in terms of my current shares, is Babo. Babo, I hold $4,400. I have an average share price of $17.78, and I have 265 shares in Babo. Babo, when we look at it, it's actually performed pretty poorly over the past year, down 18%. Alibaba had a pretty big run up going up to $115 and now is trending at about $86. Babo ran up to a share price of $25, now trading at $16. So it's taken the full length of that downside, and I'm hoping that in time it can recover and take the upside of Alibaba if Alibaba does appreciate. So what we're going to do here is we're going to find Babo because I want to show you guys the dividend yield. Cool. These are high dividends, so we got to show you the dividend yield, of course. 35%. Nothing crazy here, but we go to their dividends and they've been paying out much smaller dividends than they recently had. 44 cents, 72 cents, when they were really paying closer to $1, 82 cents, $1.29. Okay. We have last but not least, could you guys guess what the last position is? It is Yieldmax. Yieldmax, when we look at it, we have over $19,000 in two positions here. $14,000 in my careful cash account and $5,000 in my mega margin account, which I will only look to grow. All right, as you can see, we have 849 shares in my careful cash account, and in my mega margin account, we have 307 shares. My average share prices do differ. With 849 shares, I'm at an average share price of $17.64, which all I've done for this position is reinvest. I have not bought any more Yieldmax except for reinvesting at lows. I have not put more cash, pardon me. All the dividends have gone into buying more shares. But in my margin account, I've been buying at really great prices. And here I want to show you exactly kind of where that's at right now, because we have 307 shares at an average share price of $17.01. I was going to say $17.01. And I understand I've actually received some comments. I remember a comment that is 19.8. Let's talk about this one right here. I wouldn't trust any members' Yieldmax puts. I did the math for Yieldmax. It was a 26.16% distribution, not a 73% distribution if you do 19 inception price. Gotcha. Project Premium Harvest. Very interesting. Okay, that's a fantastic point. I think this is a really popular YouTube channel too that made this point. I used to follow them back in the day. I should absolutely go and check out their videos. That is very cool. But there was another comment. The reason why I bring that up is because there was a comment of how someone had an inception price, and if this is you, comment down below, of $19.80. I seen that. I got to respond in the comments. But $19.80, you're obviously down quite big on your position. I think it was like 3,800 shares. If you know who I'm talking about, it's you. But basically, Yieldmax has trended down a pretty decent amount. Sure, it's paid dividends along the way, but in terms of a capital play, it is currently at a pretty good valuation, and I've been reinvesting, and that's the reason why I have this very low average share price. Of course, I kind of started a new position in my margin account when Yieldmax kind of has trended down over a long period of time, but this cash account here where I have 849 shares, average price $17.64, as the market has gone down, I've only bought Yieldmax more and more, which has lowered my average share price. Soon, what I expect is that we should be above a $17.70 price point, which would hopefully put my position in the positive. Of course, these positions are mainly for cash flow. They're not necessarily about being positive in terms of capital appreciation, but the more Yieldmax goes down, the more I'm going to buy. It's an ETF that I like. The underlying holdings pays good dividends. I'm going to continue to buy as the price goes down. That is my plan. So these are all the ETFs. Really, they're all ETFs in my current portfolio. And I wanted to kind of go through and show you guys my intentions for each position. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really like doing this video. This was a lot of fun. These are the videos that I started YouTube on, which I really like to create. So I want to say thank you guys for watching to the end if you did. If you guys like these videos, you want to see more, you have a topic, let me know in the comments. I love reading your comments. As well, we're up to 7,176 members in our community. We also have 518 that joined in the past 28 days. So click the subscribe button, click the like button if you guys did enjoy this video. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.